Not much visibility today. Yesterday we got dumped on, and overnight we got dumped on. Pretty good snowfall, not a lot of visibility, but should be good for a run. Well, not too much visibility today. It's hard to see, but got some tourists stopped for a little herd of bison down there. Hard to see on the GoPro, but especially with the visibility. But these guys are parked to take some photos. All right, the biggest choice today is shoes. I brought my Salomon S-Lab Sense 8 soft ground because of the nice luggy pattern here. I think they're 5mm lugs, but I don't think there's enough hard packed snow for these. There's still it's been warm, so we've had a lot of snow melt on the roads, even though we got dumped overnight. I just don't, they plow up here pretty well. So I'm gonna stick with my Innovate Terra Ultra soft ground. I'm gonna stick with my, all right, the biggest choice today is shoes. I brought along my Salomon S-Lab Sense 6 soft ground for the lugs. In case there's a lot of snowpack up here, but it doesn't look like we've had a lot of warm weather and a lot of melt on the road, and they plow this road pretty well. So I don't think there's enough hard packed snow for these deep lugs. I don't want to wear them out on hitting close to pavement. So I'm gonna stick with my Innovates today. But it's an exciting day. I've got a weekend of races with my athletes. I've got 3 racers running today. I have 2 elite racers running Moab 55K, and we're looking to have good results there. Their first race of the year, 2 male, 1 male, 1 female at Moab, and then I have a 100K athlete in Arizona for the Black Canyon 100K that all went off this morning. So I'll have reports on that. And then tomorrow, another athlete at Black Canyon, but it's the 60K. And these are all their first real big races of the year. So I'll report back to that. But we're also going to use them as an example to dive into some of your questions today, mainly about nutrition. And I had 2 questions I'm going to morph together, and I'm going to read them or get their names right. So like I said, I'm going to morph them. The first question was from Harmonious Movement about how to what's the best drink before and during marathon, ultra marathon distance, and what foods are best to consume when running ultra marathoning. And then with that, I had also a question from, and I hope I get this name right, Etienne Huard. And it was a simple question of how to experiment with race nutrition. So we're going to talk about that today during the run. And I've got a little treat with me sent from my mother for Valentine's Day. It's a little kind of an oatmeal granola style bar with some chocolate chip, nice yummy chocolate chips in there. So it's a good pre-race, a good pre-run little snack for me as I'm driving up here. And ready to hit the run as soon as I'm finishing this. All right, I also want to give a shout out to Troy on YouTube. Sent a message on the other video, the last video, thanking me for his help. And I'm assuming my tips and video help from YouTube. He's not an athlete of mine, but he wanted to thank me anyways for his age group win at a half marathon several weeks ago. He's 57 years old. He won the Masters division 40 plus, and his time for the half marathon was 1:33. So kudos to Troy. Thanks for watching along, and thanks for the great comment, and can't wait to hear what you have planned for this summer. So, all right, so I'm ready to roll here. I've got my vest underneath my jacket to kind of keep things from freezing up. It's about 20 degrees at liftoff here, and just got 500 milliliters of water and another camera and my phone. So nothing, just basically being able to carry water, not letting it freeze up. So I'm gonna head out and we're gonna talk nutrition. All right, so I'm headed up the Gros Ventre. Nice, easy, long run. Gonna have a few climbs, nothing crazy, but just nice some rollers. And you can see, good shoe choice today. Enough traction for the snow-covered roads, but would have been, the other Solomons would have been overkill. So I've got the Innovate Terra Ultra 270s, which will be perfect. Perfect for today. Should be interesting. Nice weather, actually. Just a little bit of drizzle of snow and not too cold. All right, a really nice first climb. So let's talk hydration. For the most part, I keep it very simple with my athletes. We only use water. An exception to that is then we have to start looking at the distance. Something like a half marathon, maybe even a marathon, depending on how long your projected time is. You might be able to use a little bit of calorie mix with your hydration. But for the most part, especially the longer events, when stomach issues become a problem, we want to rely only on water. So for the most part, stick with water. It really helps you to utilize your fuel better, as calorie drinks tend to be too concentrated a lot of times, and it can, like I said, it can really mess with your stomach long term if you're using it for an ongoing basis for a very long event, 10, 12, 24-hour type of thing. Okay, the shorter the race, when you need fuel, calories, it's maybe a little okay to go to a mixed drink for hydration and fuel. But again, you don't want to mix your hydration and calories with your drink for the most part long term. But with nutrition, with fueling, with hydration, there's always exceptions to the rules, which makes nutrition a very difficult thing to coach and to have a black and white answer for. And that's where the experimentation comes in and what we're going to talk about. So a few exceptions to the hydration rule of water. I've had athletes who've done 200 miles where, especially at night, they sometimes tend to like to go to a drink mix to get some calories when the effort's a lot slower. Okay, and that's the key. When the effort's a lot slower in 200 miles in mountains, sometimes that's hiking, our stomach doesn't have to work as hard to process what we're putting into it. And therefore, occasionally, as something different for your body, you could go to a calorie drink, because again, your body's going to be able to deal with that a little bit easier because of the effort. And here's the Grovant River. It's flattening up a little bit. We're gonna run right along the river for a little bit. Grovant, the Tetons were named by French explorers, hence the French name. We got a big goose down there. He just flapped his wings. You see him in the water? Another key reason to stick with water during longer races is you don't have to fool with making the mix at aid stations. You can just come into aid stations, refill your water, and you're out of there. So it's a lot more efficient, aside from the bigger, most important benefit of kind of sticking with the clean water. Climb number 2, and it looks like I've lost my plow job. So this is where the Solomon maybe come into play a little bit better, but it'll be all right. All right, last thing on hydration. How much? Well, like I mentioned, there's no hard, true rule. You've got to really experiment in training based on temperatures, based on conditions, based on length of race, based on intensity of race and training. Let's use my athletes for example today. I've got 2 elite athletes doing the Moab 55K. My male athlete's looking to do that under 4 hours, so pretty quick. My female athlete's looking to do about 4:45, so again, pretty quick. Aid stations are about 6 miles apart. So we're aiming for maybe just a little over 500 milliliters of water per aid station, or about an hour or so of 500 milliliters of water. And that's just a good guide for them to focus on. A lot of times you hear drink for thirst. I like to keep you consistent, okay? Consistency is huge. Think of it as a big tub of water with a spout that's on the bottom, okay? And if that tub is full and you open the spout, that water is going to pour out of there. Imagine that spout and that tank of water is your stomach. The more water you have in it, the quicker it empties. And this is key for avoiding stomach issues. So if we stay on top of our hydration and keep it topped off and keep that tub relatively full, our stomach's going to empty much quicker, and that's a good thing, okay? And with my athletes, I kind of assign them a strategy for their water per hour. So for, again, these faster 55Kers, they're getting about 500 milliliters per hour because it's a shorter, faster race. And I'm giving them an assignment to keep them focused in the moment, especially as we go to longer races. My other gal in Arizona doing the 100K today, we're looking to get close to maybe 1 liter per hour or so because it's a longer race. Okay? So again, I'm giving her a strategy just to focus on every hour, mainly to keep her topped off and also to keep her focused and keep her in the moment. Having something to think about all the time is a good thing to keep you in the moment, focused on what you need to do at that time, rather than think too far ahead. All right. Next climb.